Hello, this is Jamie White with another Supplier Diversity and Small Business Weekly Economic Report. Um, as always, thank you so much for joining and listening in on some of the top stories um, as it, you know, pertains to small businesses and diverse suppliers. For today's week, I want to start off with the big news that's coming up actually for next week. Just also a note before I get into this, I'm not exactly sure if I'll be doing this next week, as it'll be a holiday break. But if not, definitely this can go for you know into next week as well. But the big piece of news that I want to talk about moving forward is that November 24th, so next Saturday, is Small Business Saturday. So not this coming Saturday, November 20 or November 17th, I believe. So it's going to be the 24th next week. Um, just a bit of history for that Small Business Saturday before we talk a bit about it. It was actually started in 2010 by American Express. That's why I'm at the American Express website here. Um, and it really took off around 2013. So initially, it was created after the recession hit, simply just to get dollars into to support small businesses and kind of get them ramped up and their revenue going. Really took off in 2013, and since then, about $85 billion has been spent on that day, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So it's always a Saturday after Thanksgiving. But this week's or this year's Small Business Saturday will take place on November 24th. So again, that's next week. So there's a lot of things that you can do to support your local businesses as well. I know I'm going to be going out and supporting small businesses in the Arizona area because that'll be where I'm at for Thanksgiving. But I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do as well. Go downtown or to your local downtown area and connect with any type of small business that you can find. I'm pretty sure there's going to be tons and tons of deals that are going on. There always are. Every year it gets a little bit bigger, which is great. And I think that for everyone listening to this podcast, if you can just find at least one small business, I like to say if you can find one small business and spend like at least $20, I think that would go a long way. We're always hitting the billions. We're always in the billion and billion dollars. We're always in the $1 billion range when it comes to that day. Uh, so definitely, I think we can continue that. But obviously, there's a lot of days when it comes to that Thanksgiving area from Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. Now there's Cyber Monday. So obviously, have your dollars ready for that as well. But also make sure to purchase from your local businesses to support your local community. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about, um, actually didn't want to, kind of came quick, but PayPal and Square, as you can see, they're quietly growing their small business lending. I think that is huge news because we are now seeing a ton more small businesses, or a ton more support when it comes to that small business lending area. And we all know about fintech companies and how they're growing. Now we're seeing PayPal and Square getting into that and even expanding that. So recently, Square announced that they are now offering things such as healthcare when it comes to their small businesses that are using their payroll. PayPal is expanding as well. So just wanted to kind of touch on that, just to let everyone know that area is continuing to grow, which I think is a really good thing. Next up, small business sentiment declined in October to 4-month low. Uh, it's kind of funny. I've seen a couple of articles talk about the NFIB most recent report when it comes to small business confidence. This one's kind of a little bit of it on the negative side, but by and large, the confidence when it comes to the month of October for small businesses was actually still pretty high. Small businesses, by and large, are pretty confident about where the economy and the country is going as of October. Now, there was a little bit of uncertainty because of the midterm elections, which were taking place that first Tuesday of November. But outside of that, there was still pretty solid confidence. We saw wage growth um, for the month of October as well. Now, for the month of November, things there is a high chance that things will change. In particular, when you're looking at things like the stock market, um, the result of interest rates. Now that they've been in place for about a month ish or so, so things will probably start changing, and we're going to see kind of how small businesses are handling themselves moving forward. Now, there are some things that's going to benefit it, such as like Small Business Saturday. So it'll probably offset it, but as we continue to move forward, and we don't have like that Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Small Business Saturday to kind of offset any issues. Now we're transitioning into the second half of the economy under the Trump administration for their first um, the first go around of the 4 years. So as we transition to the second half, we're going to see what the true effects of the tariffs and these interest rates are going to be. So, and you guys know my thoughts on that, and it's not very positive. It's not extremely negative, but it's just something that you got to watch out for and prepare for a downturn. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is Google launches a free business application for small and medium businesses. Now I'm not too familiar with this, but I definitely wanted to just kind of let everybody know that there is a new application that Google has released, and it's something that you definitely want to take a take a look at. Basically, what it appears to be is and I wanted to shoot down to the performance tracking. It's really trying to track your engagement with your potential customers, and it also allows you to provide like more information um, when you're setting up your profile, I believe. So I'm not too familiar with this, but I definitely wanted to mention this just because whenever Google announces that they're doing something for small businesses, it's usually pretty good. So definitely check this out when you have the time as well. And again, it's free, so free is always good. Now, as you guys know, I always like to take a look at the global economy for one of my articles, just to get a sense of kind of what's going on. I've been really looking at Europe. I think I did 1 week with China, but primarily it's been Europe, Western Europe. I mean, kind of what's going on there. And again, if you've been following me, this is just continuing that, which is the whole downturn when it comes to the countries in the European Union. So as you can see, here it is. The economy of 19 countries that use the euro stumbled in July and September when quarterly growth halved to 0.2%. So that's essentially what we're seeing, which was at its height, it was around 0.7%. So as of early, so from 2013, they created about 9.5 million more jobs, but now we're seeing that drop off a little bit. In addition to that, Italy is going through its situation. Um, apparently, there's an argument because Italy wants to use their budget more social welfare programs, and a lot of countries within the EU think that they need to be decreasing their budget. Now, in addition to this, there's also been Brexit, with Theresa May just released, or in the past they said that hey, we've got a deal and we're going to move forward with that. Now that deal doesn't seem to be as locked in as people initially thought. That also hurt the stock market as well. Um, I believe I haven't actually looked at the stock market today, but yesterday was up a little bit. But for the month, it hasn't been too been doing too well, other than after the midterm elections when it just shot up, I think like 500 points or something ridiculous in reference to the Dow. But since then, it's kind of had a rocky show. But yeah, so this is again, I've been pretty consistent when it comes to the European countries, Western European countries, and kind of what's going on there, which is that slowdown. Currently in America, it hasn't hit us yet, but I do see that happening pretty soon. So I'll definitely be aware. And just to piggyback off of that, and look, I'm gonna mention Jim Cramer, who is a who is the host of Mad Money. I understand that Jim Cramer is more of an entertainer versus really a stock investor. However, he does bring up some good points in this article. So according to Jim Cramer, he's been talking. A lot of CEOs have told him off the record that the economy has slowed pretty quickly. Now, what he says the issue is that when the interest rates hit and combined with the Trump tariffs, since they hit kind of at once, it significantly slowed down the economic growth or the company growth for a lot of companies. Now, I think that's the key here. I don't know if he's getting a ton of CEOs telling him this, but I do believe that that is an issue that a lot of companies are wary of at the very least, and at the very most, it actually did hit. Now, again, going into 2019, I do think that some of the stuff is going to be offset by a great Thanksgiving holiday break because that's when a lot of people spend their money, especially going into Christmas. So I don't think that I think it'll be offset this year, but or this month, but I do think moving into next year that is something to be seriously concerned about. And definitely as a small business, make sure that you make adjustments accordingly. I think this was a really good year to get contracts. I think next year it's going to be when you're talking about your sales cycle, it's going to be a little bit longer, simply because companies will be preparing for those downturns. And I mean, I'm already hearing from me personally, I'm already hearing about layoffs that are imminent or that are already going to happen, in particular in some of the hard labor areas. So again, if you're a small business looking at that sales cycle, make sure that I do think cost will be a lot more of a concern for companies moving forward than in the past. Now, with all that being said, I do want to end on a pretty positive note. Well, not on that note, that's terrible. But I do want to end on a positive note, which is gas prices are falling. And because gas prices are falling, people are now saying that, or experts are now saying that that means that there's going to be more money in consumers' pockets over the holiday break. So what that means is that they're going to be spending more, most likely, with on non-essentials, uh, essentially on non-essential products. So if you're a small business that is offering different things in that area, I think that this is a really good hit for you, really a bonus for you. Again, I think Small Business Saturday will be a very um, great time to offer some type of discount or offer some type of deal to get people in there and hopefully have them coming back, before the Christmas holiday to sell them even more products. So definitely wanted to leave on this positive note. Um, again, gas is dropping, means more money in consumers' pockets, which means that that could benefit you as a small business. Now, with that being said, I'm going to take off. But as always, if you like the video or yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and share with your friends and enemies as well. But as always, thank you so much for your time. And if I don't release a video next week, have a great Thanksgiving holiday.